on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. I hope you're having yourselves a tremendous morning this morning, enjoying your day to the fullest. We appreciate you being here and hanging out with us on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life, inside the Cafe Kubal studios. Cafe Kubal with locations for you all across central and upstate New York on 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 208 North Townsend Street, and 401 South Salina Street in Syracuse, as well as featured there for you inside of Golisano's Children's Hospital on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York, and in their newest location and first ever drive-through location on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road, and that's being Sweetheart Corners in North Syracuse. So, thank you to Cafe Kubal for all that you do. Pumpkin Spice is back, and you can get it at Cafe Kubal, as well as all of your favorite coffees and teas, and their fantastic chocolate chip banana bread, their chocolate chip cookies, the cinnamon rolls, the breakfast sandwiches, the upstate sandwich that you can get. Oh my gosh, the food is incredible at Cafe Kubal. So you may know them for their coffee, but you got to get to know them for everything that they do. So make sure you head out to Cafe Kubal today and fill your cup up with whatever you fancy, as well as grabbing yourself one of those treats, and so maybe a meal for this morning or for this afternoon or for later, as they're open throughout the day. So make sure you head out to Cafe Kubal today to any one of their awesome locations. And a big thanks to the entire team led by Matt Goddard and all that you do out there at Cafe Kubal for our community. Thank you so much for choosing us to be the place where you build. We really do appreciate it. So, with that being said, we have a jam-packed show for you today. A lot of great stuff coming up. You know that Friday has a trio of special segments that we do every single week. And we'll start things off, MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. And we're going to start things off here with the Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. Then we'll get into at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll be joined by Miss Juanita Ward, and Juanita is going to be joining me to speak on a very special topic today. As every single week in LEAD, we focus on a different topic. So LEAD, the acronym that stands for Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver. The special topic this week, brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, is how do we bring peace? How do we bring peace to the room that we're in, to the world that we're in? How do we bring peace in today's world? So we'll talk about that, and then we'll get into our top dog of the week at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Our top dog of the week will be honoring Danny Thome. Danny Thome has just been named the 2021 Citizen of the Year by the Greater Camillus Chamber of Commerce, and so we'll be honoring Danny today with the opportunity to not only be named the Citizen of the Year, but to be our top dog of the week. Danny's done a lot of things in this community. He definitely has helped out this community, and very quiet about it, very humble being named Citizen of the Year. So I'm very excited to be able to share this moment with you, as the top dog of the week is proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Campground Dog Boarding, and I work very closely and partner with the Wildcat Sports Pub, so we get to honor all three companies as we honor Danny Thome this morning with the awesome news that he was just named the Greater Camillus Chamber of Commerce Citizen of the Year. And so, pardon me, we get to honor Danny today in a very special way, and I'm very much looking forward to doing that. So it takes nothing for me to honor Mr. Thome, and the fact that other people have seen his worth, which I'm not surprised about in any way, shape, or form. The fact that others have seen his worth means the world to me. The fact that he's received this honor means the world to me. So I wanted to honor him beyond that honor by having him on the show today to share his thoughts on it and to share his thoughts about baseball, because he's a huge baseball fan. So we'll be talking with him about the Major League Baseball playoffs and everything else. So very excited to have Danny on the show this morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time as we honor him as this week's top dog of the week. And then we'll round out today's show with our video Q&As with the Syracuse Orange football team. I had the opportunity this week to speak with wide receiver Damien Alford, as well as left tackle Matt Bergeron, who was on the show last week as well. So we get to continue the conversation with Matt Bergeron, and I got to speak with fullback Chris Elmore for the first time since his return to the field. I spoke with him going into the season, and then he was out 4 games for an undisclosed reason, and now he is back, and I had the opportunity to speak with him upon coming back onto the field. So we'll get to hear from Chris Elmore, a.k.a. on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and I'm looking forward to sharing all of that with you today. So like I said, the annoying moment of the week brought to you by Carvel DeWitt. Lead with Juanita Ward brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. The top dog of the week honoring Danny Thome, owner and operator of the Wildcat Sports Pub. And top dog brought to you by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Campground Dog Boarding. And of course, our Syracuse video Q&As featuring wide receiver Damien Alford, left tackle Matt Bergeron, and fullback Chris Elmore. All coming up in this one episode of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So wherever you are, get relaxed, get comfy, and get ready to have some fun. Wake Up Call starts things off today with the annoying moment of the week, as we do every single Friday. AMOW, baby. The annoying moment of the week, which very well could be something that just happened before we got things going in the studio, folks. Literally just happened. And it was gross. So we can talk about that and more coming up in the annoying moment of the week. It's time to hop into that part of the show. So let's do it. Annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt, is right here.
Dan Tortora proudly brings you...
Is that for real? Are you kidding me?
The annoying moment of the week.
I really honestly, I don't know how to respond to this.
Presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It's what happy tastes like.
You have to be that crazy. I guess so.
The annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt on 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. I'm going to have to throw this into the annoying moment. I think I talked about this before, spiders, but today I open up the back door of my house to let my dog out this morning, and no sooner that I opened the door to let her out, I see this thing come in that was big enough for me to be like, oh, that's nasty. So, and hashtag Lil Wayne. So, but I'm looking at this and I see this spider, just this black, just crawl right in, just scurried right in, and I was like, man, come on now, this is gross. You know what I mean? And this is my thing with spiders, okay? And maybe they're self-conscious. Maybe they're like, I don't like that everybody thinks we're gross. You know what I mean? Maybe it gives them a complex, which I hope it doesn't. But I can't deal with spiders in my house. Like, you can be outside, leaving me alone. I leave you alone. You leave me alone. We have a great time leaving each other alone. But when you get up in my business, I gotta that's where you gotta go. That's where you gots to go. So I got to put that in the annoying moment today because this spider scurried into my house and I was like, ugh, dang it. Now I got to kill another spider. And you know what I mean? I don't like to have to kill these spiders, but gross. Just nasty. That's a no from me. That's a hard pass. So that's one of my annoying moments of the week. My other annoying moment of the week is, did you ever have a box of cereal and you're pouring it out and something weird is in it? Like, I have Honey Nut Chex. Love Honey Nut Chex. Love them as snacks. Throw them in a little baggie. Bring them somewhere for later. And spider size matters. That's very true, Greg. It does matter. This one was too big. It was gross. If a spider's in my house, it has to go. But this one was large. It wasn't as large as the other one that was supersize me. But that one, that was like the Hulk of spiders. That spider was a big old dude. I think I said in the show a couple weeks ago that if I can read a spider's name tag, it's time for him to go. His name was Steve, so that was just gross, and I'm not about that. at all, by any stretch of the imagination. Greg said a cool toy with a question mark. What, spider size? I don't know. Tell me what you mean about that, Greg. But my second annoying moment of the week would have to... Oh, no. Okay, I know what you're saying. A cool toy? No, not a cool toy. Not a cool toy. I'm pouring out the Honey Nut Chex. Love Honey Nut Chex, right? So I'm pouring out the Chex, and this black check comes out. Like this black... And you know, Honey Nut Chex are supposed to be like golden, right? This blackish, and I was like, maybe it was like sticky honey that dried. But when something... I've had a cereal before like that, where I'm pouring out the cereal and nothing in the cereal is black, and then this like black piece comes out, and I'm like, should I eat the rest of this cereal? Because what I want to do is I want to just pull that piece off, throw it in the garbage, and eat the rest of the cereal and pretend like it didn't touch anything because I'm hungry. But I haven't eaten the cereal. I did throw out that piece, but I put the cereal back in the box. So the question is, do I eat the cereal or do I throw the rest of the cereal out? Because to me that's a waste and I don't want to do that. But I have no idea what this thing was. I don't know if it was dried honey for the Honey Nut Chex. I don't know if it was, you know, it didn't look like, I mean, it looked like a piece of Chex. Like it was still the cereal, but it was like blackened. And my brain is like, why would this thing have burned? You know what I mean? Like, who would be cooking Chex while they're putting this in the cereal? So it's thrown me off a little bit, and I don't know what I should do with the cereal. So that's another annoying moment of the week. I would have to say this is my third scoop of the annoying moment of the week. I'd have to say my other annoying moment of the week is when people are on an airplane and they are behind you on the airplane. Now, if somebody says, excuse me, I have a flight that's like 20 minutes, a half an hour, like, excuse me, could I please get off? You know, then I would say, okay. But I'm talking about the people that, like, you literally land and the person's, you know, like, in your face. I mean, I had one lady do that. I had one lady, like, run up. I don't know how many people she jumped over. I have no idea where she came from. I don't know if she was like 20 rows back, but this woman sped in front, and she gets up there, and I go to get out, and I see her face, and I see her face looking at, and I look up at her, and she's like, excuse me, do we have a problem? And I was like, do we have a problem? I'm trying to get off the plane, and you're blocking me, and where did you come from, and can you fly? And why are you on this plane if you can fly? But it's such an annoying moment to me that people do this. You know what I mean? That people don't seem to, they don't have common decency and respect for other people. And a lot of times it happens when you're landing in like a big city where everybody's used to hustle and bustle and they never stop and blah, blah, blah. And that's why I could never live there. It's why I could never live in some of these places because of how ridiculous, you know, it is, where it's like they're always got to go, gotta go. I'm just like, how do you not give yourself a heart attack? And when I'm on a plane, I try to let people go, you know, in front of me and whatever. But I don't like the feeling that as soon as the plane lands and we get to the gate, that I have to, like, pop up, grab all my stuff, and be standing there ready to go. It's like that we're not going to war, so let's all relax. And let's all figure this out. My mom's on here right now. Shout out to Mom. Mom, I'm talking about people in my annoying moment of the week. I'm talking about people on an airplane that literally run, that like as soon as the plane lands and they get there, they grab all their stuff and they run to the front and they're like blocking you and they don't want to let you out. I mean, there's people that, you know, you're like trying to get out of this tiny little cubicle and there's people, you know, God forbid you have a luggage piece in the overhead compartment. Because as soon as that plane lands, some of these people expect you to Houdini out of your seat and to not have anything to get. It's like, I got my book bag, I got my bag, and now I'm grabbing my luggage. And God forbid I'm reaching for my luggage. Doesn't this person know that I have to be nowhere in 15 minutes? Idiot. Sit down. You're in row 20. I'm in row 15. Let me get my stuff and let me get off the plane. I don't like the feeling that when I'm flying, if you have that person behind you in security that's just like push, and people are better now because of Corona, so they want to leave you alone, but people are like pushing you forward. And the same thing when you get off the plane. Relax. If you are a nut job don't share that with other people, right? Be a nut job within yourself and stop bothering people. And that's not me saying mental health, because mental health is extremely important. What I'm saying to you is, if you are an a-hole, I'm trying to be nice about it. If you're not a nice person, leave us alone. When I'm on a plane and I just wake up, I don't want to mad dash, grab all my stuff so that I don't bother you or piss you off because you got to get by. And some of these people don't even say, excuse me. You know? They don't even say, excuse me. This one girl was going down the escalator and she just kind of like, she's not even, just move, bump, move, bump, move, bump. It's like hitting this person, hitting this person, hitting this person, hitting this person. Like, just say, excuse me. If you are late to a flight and you have to get there, nice people are going to move out of your way. But if you backhand somebody because you're running down a thing, you know, we're not going to be probably that happy with it. And I travel a lot. I love to see the world. God has blessed me with an opportunity to live in my hometown and to, at the same time, get to see the world. I have the best of both worlds. I get to see everything, and I get to come back home. And I love that. I love that dearly. But don't be a jerk when you're traveling. It's not all about you. It's not all about you. And I can say this because I know some people in the airline industry can't say this, but these people that think because they've flown a bunch of miles and because they've gone, that they can say whatever they want to say, I'm so blah, blah, blah. No, shut your mouth, okay? Yes, you've flown 5 billion miles. Congratulations. I probably have too. You know, but stop complaining. You know, we were supposed to get in at 5:07 and we got in at 5:09 and I have places to be and things to do. Shut your mouth now, okay? If we get in at 5:09 from 5:07, if that 2 minutes disrupted your day, then you plan things too closely, okay? Now I understand you're sitting on you're sitting on the tarmac and you're there for like an hour and a half. I understand, right? You're sitting on the runway like, oh my gosh, this is frustrating. Yeah, it is frustrating. But I love the people that complain when the pilot comes on and says, yeah, we have a mechanical issue. We need to make sure the plane's okay so you don't all die in the air. When there's a mechanical issue, this is a flying... First and foremost, when you get on a plane, I don't care if you've flown a billion times, do you realize the fact that you're in a giant metal bird that somehow somebody figured out to keep in the air and keep from crashing down with gravity? They literally going against gravity and found a way to make it work. Can we just appreciate the beauty and the majesty and the insaneness that it is that we can actually fly? Let's think about that first. Secondly, when a pilot says that there's a mechanical issue that they need to check, yes, it's frustrating. Yes, you want to make your connection. But I don't want to die in the air. So if a pilot says to me, the engine's not really spinning, so we're going to make sure that it can spin. You know, you got this person, you know, it's always something. Always something. Yeah. If you got in your car today and the engine didn't work, you know what I mean? It's like being safe should be paramount. Yes, all the planes should be working. Yes, they should check these things ahead of time. Yes, there's human error and frustration. But if a pilot says to me, I want to make sure that everything is working on the plane before we go 30,000 feet in the air and hope for the best. And I hear somebody behind me, are you serious? You know what I mean? Like, those people should be put on an island by themselves to annoy each other. And they should never be in human society again. They should just be on an island, Annoyance Island. That's what we're going to call it. And they should all live on that island together where they can huff and puff and blow each other's houses down, but leave us all alone. So when you're traveling, how about this? When you're in public, just be a nice person. And when you're in private, here's a crazy thought, be a nice person when nobody can see it. That's when you know somebody really is a good person. When they're a good person and nobody can pat their back for it. Okay? So be nice. Just be kind. when you walk up to someone at a counter and you're a mean person, think this to yourself. Are you going to get anywhere? If I walk up to someone and start abusing them verbally at a movie theater, should they let me into a movie? No. Should they let you on a plane? No. Should they let you on a train? No. Should they check you out in the grocery store? No. No. If you're a mean individual and you walk up with that meanness and go, "Hi, stranger, I want to ruin your day." Dude, back the truck up. By the way, if you're late and you demand something, no. Absolutely not. Sir, we closed the we closed the boarding door 15 minutes before, and it's 5 minutes after. Let me on the plane, or I'm going to call your supervisor. Call my supervisor. What are you going to make? You're going to make these other 90 people late because you were? Just think about other people. And I travel a lot. And listen, I'm not always on time, and I'm not always at the best at, I can be better with my time management. But never have I ever walked up to somebody and been like, "Open that door, I'm going to scream and swear and call you names." No, absolutely not. You don't do that. You don't do that. So just be kind. And when the plane lands, it's not a mad dash. The plane lands, it's like a gun goes off, right? Plane lands and everybody's like racing. And it's like, dude, where are you going? Like, where do you need to be right now? I have to get to Starbucks. I have to get my coffee. I have to get my coffee because my coffee has to be at 9:07. At 9:07, I have to get my coffee. No. First and foremost, you should be going to Café Cubal. Number 2, back the truck up, sonny boy. Let's relax a little bit. Let's take a little. Maybe we should have plain yoga. Maybe we should institute plain yoga. When we land, we will all pretend that we're donkeys, upside down, on an earth that it's flat as a pillow. You know what I mean? Just knock it off, people. Be nice and, stop rushing through your life. Seriously. By the time you get there, you're going to be dead. So just stop and actually enjoy the time you have. We're going to take a step aside. Plain yoga. I'm copywriting it. We'll be back right after this fast break.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Café Cubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafecubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Café Cubal needs. Café Cubal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Proud to have you here inside of the Cafe Kubal studios every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Cafe Kubal on 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 208 North Townsend Street, as well as 401 South Salina Street in Syracuse. You can also find them inside of Galisanos Children's Hospital. We thank the hospital for all that they're doing and pray for God's miracles to continue to be with them today and with everybody that needs one. And I do also want to shout out to Cafe Kubal and the great people out at 343 Fayette Street in Manlius and on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in North Syracuse with the newest Cafe Kubal, which is their first ever drive-through location. So a lot of great stuff with Cafe Kubal. You just heard the annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt, and I had 3 annoying moments, and it's led us here into Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver with Juanita Ward, my co-host, and proudly brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. The topic today, which was put perfectly next to the annoying moment of the week, is as I was talking about people on planes that are just like hustle and bustle, and as soon as the plane lands, they're pushing to go forward and they're disrupting everybody's peace. The topic for Lead today is how do we bring peace to the world? So coming off of things that are disruptive, we now get to talk about the positive side of that. When things are disruptive, how do we respond to them? How do we bring peace in today's crazy world? So it kind of fit perfectly here, and I call that a God incidence because these two things that I'm talking about today flowed together very, very peacefully and very positively. So we'll be talking with Juanita about that in just a second, but not before we welcome in my sis to the show. Juanita, how you doing today?
Hey, Dan, how's it going?
It's going well, and you know, I talk about bringing peace because I know that you've been on a plane before, and I've been on a plane. I was on a plane a couple days ago, and I was just saying in the annoying moment of the week that some people, when the plane lands, they're from row 20, you're in row 3, somehow they're next to you. When the plane lands, they're like breathing down your neck, they're eating out of your trail mix, they're waiting to get off the plane. And I said, just back up, I know everybody wants to get off the plane, let's just relax. So I think that they should institute plane yoga. When the plane lands, that everybody has to do like an upside-down donkey on a cloud and find peace. Because for some odd reason, there's like this hustle and bustle and bustle and bustle and bustle when you're getting off of a plane, which led me into what we're talking about today is how do we find peace? This world sometimes, like on a plane, can be crazy. And it can be either in a contained environment like that or in a grander environment. But the fact that sometimes we feel like people are disrupting our peace. So how do you find peace in an ever-changing and sometimes crazy world out there?
Well, I've been on, when you said it about, people coming and trying to really hustle to get off the plane or, figure out how they can, skin right past you or right past the person in front of you to get off the plane. I've been there. I've been there in that moment. And I'll tell you this, man. The one thing that I've learned is when you can calm yourself, it calms somebody else behind you or around you. I was in a situation one time where we were on a plane. I was coming from a flight from overseas. And we were on the plane, and I would assume that the person was extremely claustrophobic, and they had just had enough. They were done. They had just had enough. You could literally tell that they were ready to get off the plane. It didn't matter what, they just had to get off. And they were kind of, excuse me, getting past everybody. Excuse me, getting past the next person. Excuse me. I mean, he's like standing up there trying to get the luggage out.
Oh, Juanita, we lost you for a second here. So they said that you said they were trying to get the luggage out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, trying to get the luggage out of the top, and then you have an old lady, trying to help her, her friend beside her. This person's just like kind of, excuse me, here it comes. Excuse me, can I get off? I'm trying to get off. And it's like, wait, listen, the doors hadn't opened yet. Yeah. Everybody just completely, as soon as the plane landed, boom, everybody gets up out of the seat. The only thing you hear is the seat belts popping. Everybody's like, yes, we made it. And this person's coming by, excuse me. Let me, excuse me. And they made it up to where we were. And I turned around and I said, hey, you in a rush? She said, yeah, I can't breathe. I said, well, first off, slow down because it looks like you're having a panic attack. It's like, well, I just need to get off. And calmly, I'm talking to this person. And I'm telling them, slow down. Looks like you're having a panic attack. It's going to be okay. Slow down. Just relax. You can get in front of me. I was towards the front. And I said, you can get in front of me. I'm just going to tell you, the more you go up, you may run to somebody that's probably agitated just as you are. So if you can just slow down, calm down, stand right here in front of me, you'll get off the plane as soon as they open the door. You'll be the first. Matter of fact, you'll get off the plane before I do. And the person's eyes just went from big-eyed to, you could see this release. It's like something just popped, Yeah. And I'm saying this to say, sometimes we have to give up an opportunity for us, for someone else, to obtain peace in the world. Now, what do I mean about that? It's not that you're giving up your opportunity, the opportunity God has given you. It's the fact that you're being a servant. And you're saying, you know what? I see somebody in need. And in order for me to help calm them down, I'm going to talk to them peacefully. I'm going to give them an opportunity. Maybe an opportunity that I had to go first. Now this person can go first because I see that they're in need. Once I do that, I put them in a position to go in and go. Now they see somebody else cares, somebody else understands, somebody else feels where I'm coming from. It's someone else that's taking the time to see that you need an opportunity to calm down. Calm words, soft words, calms anything. Soft words calms anger. I can only imagine what a kind heart can do for somebody that's erratic.
Yeah, and I think about, I talked about the spider earlier. I think about this one spider that was down in Florida, and I was trying to save the spider. I literally was. I was trying to save the spider. And I said to the spider, it was looking at me. Let's call it a him. And I'm looking at the spider. The spider's looking at me. And I took a newspaper and I opened the door and I tried to lead it toward the door and scoop it out. And then I felt like I was hurting it because I was trying to scoop it, but I was, you got to be careful with the legs. And I'm like, go ahead. And then it turned around in the doorway and it looked right at me. And I was like, don't do it. And it beelined for me, running as fast as it could. Like, I'm going to get him. You know what I mean? And so in the world that we live in today, sometimes being peaceful and kind, people are still angry. They're still mad. Sometimes trying to bring somebody down like you did, and it worked. Sometimes it doesn't work. What do you do in the times where you're trying to bring peace and somebody doesn't want to be peaceful?
Always, the opposite spirit always comes. Two wrongs do not make a right. And as much as everybody else wanted to get off, the good thing about talking to the person in the opposite way that they were talking to everyone else, calm that person down. You've heard this saying before. If someone slap you, turn the other cheek. Or it's not that if they actually slap you, but in the words that they say, turn the other cheek. Well, That's true. Because two wrongs don't make a right. The problem that we have today is everybody feels that they have an opinion and that their opinion is right, or that they feel that they are right. Sometimes a relationship don't work out because everybody feels that their relationship opinions are right and how they respond in a relationship to a situation is right. When sometimes you could digress and just say, you know what? Okay, here, listen, what is it that this one person takes my spot and gets in front of me?
Yeah.
Yeah, they came from the back. Clearly, there's something going on. Now, I'm not saying that everybody is, and anybody that hear me, I'm not saying that, to go out and be mischievous and go, well, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to get past somebody and see what happens. Now, that's just being not smart. But if you clearly see a person that's irate and they are trying to work, sometimes we have to learn to be kind. We have to learn to just calm down and go, you know what? Let me think about the situation that's going on before I react to the situation. You don't act in violence. You don't act in anger. You don't act in, I'm going to show you why you shouldn't be up here. There's no answer to violence of saying, well, I'm going to, and I'm not saying violence in the sense of putting a gun or a knife or anything like that, but violence can be in your actions and the way you treat someone and the way you say things. You could look violently. You could act violently. And that does not make it right. So the opposite spirit is to be kind. If this world could be a little bit more loving, a little bit more kind, a little bit more loving thy neighbor, instead of trying to figure out a way where you can fight, especially when you're doing, when you have words that are going back and forth, conversations, situations, you don't try to figure out a topic to try to fight someone on. If you're trying to figure out a topic to be nice, you have to figure out the solution. The solution is, if you are the one person that has the opportunity to calm a situation, what do you do in that moment? Do you argue back with the person and say, no, you're not going to get in front of me. No, you're not going to come past me. That's the easiest thing to do, is to argue back and forth. But what is that going to solve? If I can allow the person to get in front of me, maybe I can stop the person from bumping their head before they get too far off the road.
Yeah, and that kindness, trying to be kind when you feel like someone isn't kind to you, when you feel like someone isn't good to you, isn't nice to you. My mother said something to me, and I know she's listening right now. Shout out to Mom. She loves Juanita, so I know she says hello this morning. She said to me a couple weeks ago, she said, Daniel, I know that you'll be the bigger person. She goes, no. I know that you'll always capitalize that. She said, I know that you'll always capitalize that, be the bigger person. I know that that's who you are. I know that that's what you're going to do. Always. That is what you're going to do. That's how you were raised. That's who you are. That's what you're going to do. And is it hard? Of course it is. Is it hard when someone's screaming at you? When I've worked in places and someone's yelling at you and you're sitting here going like, these aren't my rules. These are the rules of the company. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I can go back to so many different times where somebody was mean, and, you can easily be mean back, but what is that going to do? It's just going to escalate. And I tell people this all the time. If someone wants to fight you and you fight them and you win, the fight's not over. Because now, for the rest of their life, they're going to think I lost that fight. So now they want to beat you. They want to even the score. And now the people that love them may want to even the score. So now they want to fight you. They want to win. So then they win. Then you want to win. So then it goes back and forth forever because nobody wants to lose. Because people have egos. And in order to be a peaceful person, you have to check your ego at the door. You have to see that the God you believe in is not of mischief and war and pain and suffering. I had somebody tell me that was a radical, almost like a zealot, that, was so radical in their faith that they said, in order to be true to my faith, I have to suffer. I have to suffer on purpose. And I thought to myself, if you went to a cancer ward and you told people that you were causing yourself pain on purpose and people around you pain on purpose and making people that love you suffer around you because you felt like they needed to, those people in that cancer ward would think you were crazy. People on ventilators right now with COVID would think that you're nuts. Why would you suffer on purpose? And it baffles me to see people that think, well, in order to be the best I could be, I have to cause pain. No. In order to be the best you can be, you have to understand that your God is a God of peace. And I tell people all the time, God did not take freedom and give it to some people and not other people. God was not the one that said, women, you can't vote, men, you can. You can't go here, you can go here. This color can't do this color can do that. God didn't do that, man did that. Your God-given right is freedom. Your God-given right is peace. Your God-given right is love. God gave you all those things. Human beings seek to take those away, not God. So when I have the choice of being peaceful, Juanita, yeah, it's hard. You and I both know it's hard. It's hard to be peaceful sometimes. But when you sit and you think about what would God want me to be, would he want me to yell? No. Would he want me to fight and hurt somebody physically? No. Would he want me to swear? No. Would he want me to condemn or threaten or cause people to suffer? No. So what's the alternative? God, this person's really frustrating me. They ran up behind me on the plane. They're bumping bodies. They just knocked an old lady out of the way. They're swearing. They're yelling. Do you want me to hit them back? No, Daniel, I don't. Do you want me to scream at them? No, Daniel, I don't. So what can I do? Daniel, be peaceful. Give them a look. How's your day? You okay? Do you need any help getting by? I saw you struggled getting your baggage. Do you want me to take that, move that in front for you so you can get out? Why don't you go in front of me? Yeah, it's hard to do. But if you let that person's disruptive behavior disrupt your life, now you're disrupted. Now you might disrupt somebody else. And now this one person's disruptive behavior has ruined your day. Maybe it's going to ruin somebody else's day. Peace is the only thing to bring the chaos. Love is the only thing that can defeat hate. Didn't Martin Luther King Jr. say that? That only love can defeat hate? Darkness only brings more darkness. Light is the only thing that can defeat the darkness. So, we can joke about it. We can laugh about it. We can be frustrated by it. But peace is the only thing that can end that disruptive behavior. And I think we're seeing in the world right now is that everybody wants to choose a side. And peace is where we choose each other. That's at least how I see it.
It has to be a moment where we look back and go, man, I'm so grateful nobody treated me the way that I thought about treating the other person. I mean, there are times where you just really want to tell somebody, listen, if you all go, I'm not having it today. Today is not the day. Today is not the day. I'm not feeling it today. Today is not. You just really want to say that because sometimes we walk around and we have those moments. Everybody has those moments in their life. Today, I don't care how kind you are. I don't care how amazing you may be as a person. Everybody has those moments. Dan, you know it is true. When you're traveling on the road and you've been going for hours and hours and hours, you sleeping on the plane. Everybody has had those moments. Today is the day. Don't nobody say anything to me. Don't talk to me. I'm ready to get off the plane. If I can just get to the cup of coffee, I will be okay. But until I get there, don't say nothing. Everybody has had those moments. Everybody has been in those crucial times. But it's in those times that you can grow as a person to say, you know what? Let me stop thinking only about self. Let me wake up. Let me get myself together and stop thinking only about self, because if I continue to think only about self and how I feel and my feelings and my emotions, I may affect somebody else. And the way somebody else responds to how I'm feeling, my emotions, may not be the proper way. And the only thing The only thing I'm trying to do is just stay in my little bubble and get to my coffee. But that's the problem. When people try to stay in their bubble and get to their coffee. Not necessarily is it about your bubble. And we have to, I'm going to use this phrase, wake up and smell the coffee. Because everything in this world does not revolve around one particular person. We're based off of sharing something with someone else. You've heard the saying, two is better than one? Well, that's true. Because if it wasn't true, then God would not have given us 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 feet. He wouldn't have given us two things that we need the most. Most importantly, you need to be kind. You need to live in peace. Because when you live in peace, you have a peaceful understanding about life. You can think clearly. You don't act irresponsible. You don't think with your emotions. You think with a clear mind and a clear understanding, with a clear conception. You think clearly, and you have patience, and you wait. And now you can say, you know what? What is it going to hurt to just wait just a few minutes longer? What is it going to hurt to just open up the door? I don't have to go in there first. Let me open up the door for somebody else. You never know what may happen by you walking up to your door, opening up the door. You see someone else coming out, open up the door, and you're trying to walk into the job. But you sit there and you wait a little while. You open up the door, and out comes an opportunity. The person stops and turns around and says, hey, thank you so much for opening up the door. And from there sparks an opportunity. You never know what's on the other side of your kindness, of your words. You can be mean now, but it doesn't mean that those words that you're planting now will not reap its fruit later on down the line. Most people call it karma. Well, I don't believe in karma. I just believe in this. I believe that whatever you plant now, emotionally or physically, whatever you plant now, you'll reap it in due season.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you're embedding your heart with whatever you think. And whatever you think comes out of your heart. Those words come back up through your mouth. So whatever you think and however you act, you allow that to seep down into your heart. So you wonder why a person is not peaceful, acts erratic, can go from 0 to 100 on a drop of a dime. That's because they've allowed that to creep into their heart. And now it's coming out of them physically. It's coming out of them emotionally. So we have to change the way that we respond to things. Everything that you see on TV does not mean that that is your identity. If you see somebody else on TV arguing a situation down because you're watching it, well, that's the lure of the show, is to attract your attention from a condescending perspective. But it doesn't mean that that's the way that you're supposed to respond in life. We have to be able to look at life from the lens that God has given us, not the lens that he's given somebody else. Because when we're looking at TV, at that show, that's exactly what it is. It's a show, which means it may have some similarities with you, but everything in that show may not be you. So don't be attracted to what is not you, thinking that that is your identity, just because it may seem a little cool, just because it may look a little cool. You know, some people say all money is not good money. Well, that's true. All shows are not good shows for your eyes, because it'll seep into your heart and you'll act like somebody that you're not.
Yeah, you know, we are what we eat. You know, that's what they say all the time. You know, what your soul eats, what your soul ingests, what you take in. If you're around negativity and drama all the time, you will ingest that. But Dan, I'm not a dramatic person, but if you surround yourself with dramatic people, it's going to bring you down. I remember dating somebody that watched The Real Housewives of whatever, and because they're all the same. And, I mean, every one of the shows is the same. And it's these women screaming at each other about nothing, Just like really petty stuff. And I remember watching it one night, and I started to get anxiety because like they were screaming and they're yelling, and I couldn't like get comfortable in my own house because it was like making me very uncomfortable to see these people like yelling at each other and fighting with each other, and I wasn't even involved. But, you know, it's like you talk about shows, it was just seeing this like abusive, angry, negative, derogatory, choose a side behavior, and I was like, I can't watch this. Like, it was making me uncomfortable. It was making me unsettled. I was like, you know, why are these people fighting? What are they fighting over? Why is there no resolution? I don't like seeing people fight. Like, when I'm in public, if I see somebody, like, fighting with somebody in public, it makes, like, I want to go to their table and go, hey, how can we work this out? Because, like, you know, because everybody can hear you. You know, like, it's not it's just not, I don't like seeing people upset. I don't like seeing people fight. I don't like seeing people cry. And it's not that you can't do all those things. You obviously can. But I'm one of those people that if I see someone hurt, I want to help them. I never want to hurt somebody. There's never, ever been a time where I want to hurt somebody. Now, do I have a human side where I'm frustrated or I'm upset at somebody that hurt me? Yeah. But do I want to cause someone pain truly? No. Never. So I think for me, to bring peace, you have to know God. You have to know that being the bigger person is the only option, like my mom says. And that, you know, adding more wood to a fire is just going to make everybody burn. So if somebody's this giant fire, you can put wood on it, or you can or you could get a fire extinguisher. And I think it's hard to be the fire extinguisher sometimes, but it's the only option that's going to bring things down, is to love. In a world that may not know it, we can sit here and talk about the problem, or we can talk about the solution. I can tell you right now, this world doesn't know love. And a lot of people would say, you're right, I don't think it does. So how do we show it love then? I don't care what it is. I care what it can be. I can't stand the statement, it is what it is. I can't stand that statement because it means even if something's wrong, it's going to stay that way. So I have a sign in my house, in my studio here, and I'm holding it up to the screen right now so y'all can see it. It says, it is what it is, but it will become what you make of it. So yeah, something may be what it is, but it can be something better. And if for nothing else, at least in your life, you can make it better for you and the people around you. So just be a good person, find your peace, and do your best to guide a spider out your door. Juanita, as always, I appreciate you, and I thank you for being here.
Most definitely. Thanks a lot.
We'll talk with you soon. And coming from Juanita Ward here inside of Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver. Proudly brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. We're going to take a quick step aside here where sports meets life inside the Cafe Kubal studios. And when we come back, we will be honoring our top dog of the week, who this week is Mr. Danny Thome, owner and operator of the Wildcat Sports Pub, who was just named the 2021 Citizen of the Year by the Greater Camillus Chamber of Commerce. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville beats. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success at Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career, it's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, where you're listening. You're watching on Facebook Live, facebook.com/livenowdt, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, and on YouTube Live on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt as well. Inside the Cafe Kubal studios, we are here to bring you the top dog of the week. Proudly brought to you by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Campground Dog Boarding. This gentleman deserves to be the top dog not only of this week, but all throughout many instances of the past at least 5 years of my life. And I appreciate him very much so. I know he is he's humble to the community, but they just honored him, and I want to take the time to honor him as well here as the top dog of the week, as I bring you the 2021 Citizen of the Year from the Greater Camillus Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Danny Thome, the owner and operator of the Wildcat Sports Pub. Congratulations, Danny, as you are not only that, but you're also our top dog of the week this week.
Yo, thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, I connected you over to my Bluetooth, so can you hear okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah, everybody can hear you. You're okay.
Right.
So
thank you for the very kind words. I appreciate it. It's quite an honor. Very humbled. All those, yes.
Did you have any idea that the Chamber of Commerce that this was even something that was coming up, that this Citizen of the Year thing could even be something that you would get?
I knew there was these awards. There's awards for everything nowadays. So I didn't know that I was going to receive it. How's that? I didn't know. No, and I was surprised. And I do not like surprises. I just do not like surprises. And I walked into the shop one day, and I was coming back from a catering job with Andrea, and we walk in, and there's all these people standing in the middle of my restaurant in suits. I'm like, what the? This is, was it the health department or state liquor or something? But then I saw Zach and Johnny and Delaney and Jennifer, and they were all there, so yeah, I was surprised, humbled and surprised. So,
and for you, Danny, I mean, this last 18 months has been very trying for so many people. You as a business owner in this community, you and I both as business owners, we talk about it, and there's different things that we feel, in different pieces of, kind of what I'm doing in multimedia, what you're doing in a restaurant and a bar and whatnot. We've had a lot of conversations over the last 18 months of how trying it was to be named Citizen of the Year coming out of one of the most trying times as a business person. Does that carry a special weight to you to be honored after everything that you've been through, to just take care of your employees and make sure that you kept the lights on?
Well, I think it could have been 2019, it could have been 2020, it could have been this year. I think that the biggest part of it is that, the staff, the coworkers, the people that I work with, stuck with it. If they weren't able to stick with it, then there's no way this award would have came to fruition. So I would say any year it's equally important. However, the employees are the ones that really, really got me to the point where I could afford to win this, and more importantly, afford to stay open during the pandemic and get through the pandemic, and still continue to help people and help the community for that 2 months, 3 month, 4 month, 5 month, 2 year pandemic that we've gone through. So,
speaking here with Danny Thome, honoring him as the top dog of the week this week. Danny, you talk about the staff. Obviously, over the last 4 years and change, I've gotten to know a lot of members of your staff. What can you say about the fact that not only do you have these people, but they stay? The faces I saw 4.5 years ago are still there. Just, what that says in today's world, that, you really do have not just a staff of workers at the Wildcat, but it is a family, and you talk about family all the time, but it really truly is a family, and you have stuck together in some very tough times for this world. So just what it means to you to not just have a bunch of people that work for you, but to have a family around you, so to speak.
The people, I can go from the GM right on down, bar managers, bartender. I don't know. I just feel like I don't think I can quantify or explain how this is, but obviously, money helps, right? When people are paid, they're comfortable, they don't want to leave. It's just very important to have an inclusive atmosphere around the employees. We've turned employees, don't get me wrong. We've had people leave, and we've had, on the recorder, our record, we've had people leave, but the core group that we have, the 10 to 15 that have stayed, it also helps that, and their age group, Danny, their age group is that of working age, and I think a lot of their friends have come to work there, which has really helped us. That's a thing that really benefited us over the past year or two. You lose some places. I hit it in the sweet spot, right, with the kids, because 3 years ago my kids were too young to have friends work, and 3 years from now my kids will be too old to have friends work. So we really got it. At the right time, and then you factor in the longevity with the management staff and the very low turnover in management. It's been good. It's been good. So.
And Danny, before I let you go, I got to throw this at you here. I know that you're a big baseball fan. The Phillies are not in. My Diamondbacks are not in. So who are you rooting for?
Really? Listen, who am I rooting for? I that's a tough question, man. Tampa's got some pros and cons. The Red Sox, pros and cons. The Yankees would have been good for business. The White Sox, I know very little about. The Astros, no way. The Braves, absolutely no way. The Brewers, I could see the Brewers. I like a team that hasn't won anything since 1982 or whenever the hell they got to the playoffs or the World Series last time. The Dodgers, no way. You know what? If you're going to put my hand to the flame, I'm going to say the Brewers. How's that?
That's good. Papa Joe picks the Brewers too, so he's good with it. Family up in Milwaukee. But you just said, obviously the Braves, no way, because they're in the same division as you.
Right.
Do you like the baseball justice that the Astros received, that for almost 2 years they were still getting thrown at? Do you think that that's fair justice?
Yeah. I don't, they cheated and won a World Series, right? And what more can you say? I mean, I'm not saying and some of the players went there. I get that. Turnover and times change and years go by. I get that. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard because if the Phillies did that and the Phillies won, I'd be defending the Phillies to the death, right? So, as a baseball fan, baseball seems to always, the players always seem to hand out justice, and maybe that's okay. I don't know.
That coming from Danny Thome. Danny, appreciate it as always. Shout out for Citizen of the Year and being our top dog of the week. Take care of Dom for us today. Make sure you get him back to the home on time, okay?
He's out of the car now. He's got some errands to run today, so he's run those errands, and I'm just driving around with.
Thank you for everything as always. I'll see you soon.
All right, thanks, dude.
All right, take care. Coming from Danny Thome, once again being honored as our top dog of the week, and very much appreciate Danny Thome, and you could see him there with so many members of his awesome staff, and just incredible people that have stuck out. One of the toughest times that a business maybe will ever, God willing, it'll never get any worse than this. Lord, please, Jesus, God, Holy Spirit, may it never, ever get worse. May it only get better. Danny navigated with so many incredible businesses that I'm proud to work with through one of the most one of the craziest trying times ever that nobody, I think, could have seen coming. So, Danny, happy Citizen of the Year award. Thank you for the Wildcat Sports Pub. Thank you for what you've done in my life personally, and just thank you for being a great person and for being there. I know you don't give yourself the credit that maybe I'm going to give you, but I'm going to give it to you because you deserve it. And in my life, you have been a true and honest friend and a superstar and a great person to work with in business and a great partner to have. So I want to thank you for that very much from the bottom of my heart. With that being said, we'll take a step aside on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We'll come back and get you ready for what's coming up this weekend. Now, folks, tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, set your dials and be ready. At 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, a special Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora outside of our normal broadcast hours of 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. A very special Wake Up Call will be broadcast tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT and on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, as well as Facebook.com/LiveNowDT. And that special will be our pregame show to get you ready for what is to come with Wake Forest visiting Syracuse this weekend inside of the Dome, where I will be and Isaac will be, God willing, as well. And so I'm very, 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 very excited to say that our pregame show continues tonight, Wake Forest at Syracuse, featuring Isaac Alford, who has just signed on to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. I'll be joined by Isaac sitting right next to me here in the studio tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So set your clocks and be ready. Put it in your phone. Mark it in the calendar. Tonight, Friday, October 8th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Isaac Alford and myself, Dan Tortora, a.k.a. DT, bringing you Wake Forest at Syracuse's live pregame show. You don't want to miss it. That's coming up later on tonight. And before that, you're going to hear from the Syracuse Orange right after this fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life, inside the Cafe Kubal studios. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com.
Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. As a patient, what do we want? To be cared for, to be listened to, and to have someone walk us through the process on our path to victory. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics does all of those things beautifully, with Dr. Mark Petropoli leading the team on 791 West Genesee Street in Skaneateles, New York, located minutes from beautiful Skaneateles Lake. Whatever your injury may be from head to toe, preventative care, rehab, physical therapy, laser therapy, and surgery are all available at Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, where they care about us, they listen to us, and they understand that everyone's path to victory is a little bit different. Let them help you on yours by calling 315-685-7544 to make your appointment today. That's 315-685-7544. And find out more information at victorysportsmedicine.com. Back here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios. I hope you're doing well and enjoying your morning. If you're not, I hope we're making it better. And if you're having a great morning, I hope we're keeping it great. So that's all I want to do is see y'all happy. Okay, whether I ever get to meet you or I never get to meet you, I hope you're happy and I hope you're doing well. That's what I want. I want smiles all around. I want people to enjoy their lives, make the most of it, and just truly, truly be happy. That's what I want for everybody. I want to see people happy. So I hope you're happy. I hope you're having a great morning. And I'm thanking you so much for being here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. So thank you for hanging out here And thank you for being who you are, For those good people out there that are seeking peace and fighting the good fight and trying to bring good to this world, I want to say thank you. If nobody says thank you to you, I want you to know that I'm saying thank you for going out there and doing your best and trying hard and trying to make this world a better place. I thank you for that. With that being stated, before we get into the Syracuse interviews, last night was fun. I love the fact that I got to bounce back and forth last night on the TV for Major League Baseball playoffs and Thursday Night Football. I love that. I love when that gets to cross. I'm sitting here watching Rays and Sox, then I'm watching Seahawks and Rams. Rays and Sox, Seahawks, Rams. Back and forth, back and forth. The Rays were taking care of business. The Rays shut out the Sox in yesterday's game. But the Rams game was good because the Seahawks lost Russell Wilson in the game, didn't have Gerald Everett in the game, didn't have Chris Carson in the game, and Geno Smith, who Syracuse's defense exposed the heck out of when he was at West Virginia. Geno Smith comes into the game as a backup who's just found his way. He used to be a starter for the Jets when I covered the Jets, and I'd go to their training camp in SUNY Cortland. Geno Smith was the quarterback at that time. And Geno Smith has found his way through the NFL to stay with. I think Geno Smith was with the Jets, he was with the Giants, the Chargers, and now he's with the Seahawks. And he comes in and he leads this drive. And I gotta give some big ups to Geno, right? I've criticized and said that Geno is not an NFL quarterback. To me, I feel like he should be like a wide receiver. Geno came into this game, and Geno definitely, I'm going to give credit where credit's due, and I'm going to give credit to Geno Smith. He came into this matchup, and he made it happen. He did some really good things in this. I mean, he led one drive down the field. He comes in, and he's throwing a DK Metcalf, boom, let's go. Then he's running the ball. Then he's giving the ball off to Alex Collins. They're moving. And he's just keeping the Rams on their heels defensively. I think it was a 97-yard drive, and every play just push. There was like one play that went a couple yards, but everything else is like move it. And he's attacking. Looking like a starter. Looking like he was not trying to prove something, but he was fiery, right? He had that leadership. And I love the way he led down the field because he just looked like, this is my offense. These guys know me. We're going to do it. I mean, for a backup quarterback to come in there and trust his team that much, and for the team to trust him that much, all en route to a DK Metcalf touchdown, that was great. I think Geno puts that on film, and NFL teams got to look at that and go, hey, our quarterback situation's not that great. Maybe we should bring Geno in. So I think that's really good to see Geno do that, and I just want to give him props for real because I've seen him in the NFL, and I saw how Syracuse took care of him at Yankee Stadium, and in the Pinstripe Bowl back in 2012, and so to me, I just thought like Geno, I don't buy it. I don't buy that he's an NFL quarterback. And he came into this game, and granted, he's got to be consistent and whatnot. I just wanted to come on the show this morning to say, Geno, I have constructively criticized and thought that, maybe quarterback wasn't the position for you, and you came in yesterday and you led a 97-yard drive as a backup quarterback, and you looked more polished and more leadership-esque than some of the starting quarterbacks I've seen. So I just wanted to give you props for that and respect where respect is due. So I wanted to say shout out to you for that because you made it a game. Geno made it a game. You know what I mean? Backup quarterback comes in, especially when you're backing up a guy like Russell Wilson, and it's easy for somebody to just go, well, this game is over. Let's chalk this up and say goodbye. So, that to me is something that could have easily happened. I'm sure there were fans of the Seahawks that said, whatever, game's over, our backup's in. But look at what he did. He actually made this a game. So shout out to Geno Smith and what he was able to do. 26-17, Seattle loses at home, but that's without your starting tight end, your starting running back, and your starting quarterback was only in for part of the game. So I'm going to give them some props for that. A lot of great games coming up this weekend. Hope you're going to be watching them. Remember to set your lineup, as I told you in the Fantasy Football Power Hour, proudly presented by the Wildcat Sports Pub. Set your lineup for the Jets and the Falcons ahead of time, please, because the game's at 9:30 a.m. It's in England, and England is ahead of time. So it's an earlier game here because it's a later game for them. So you need to set your lineup by 9:30 a.m. Sunday morning. So you might as well just set it today or set it tomorrow. Make sure your lineup is set, and do not miss out on that. Don't wake up for church and go, oh my gosh, I totally forgot, to set my lineup. So just a fair warning here to set your lineup for the 9:30 a.m. game Sunday, October 10th, as the Jets take on the Falcons in England at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, England. So make sure you're ready for that. Speaking of ready, we're going to take a step aside to get you ready for the upcoming conversations with the Syracuse Orange. And shout out to my guy, William here, who's on the broadcast this morning. He thinks that the Orange should change their name to respect and appreciate Hispanic Heritage Month, that they should change their name for this month of October to Las Naranjas, which is the oranges in Spanish. And you know what's really cool is I grew up the first 14 years of my life thinking that I was 100% Italian, and then finding out that I have Spanish descent, that I have Hispanic blood. And to find that out and to be an October baby and know that this is Hispanic Heritage Month, that to me is a beautiful thing. To have Hispanic heritage in my family, to have that bloodline in my family, and to have Hispanic Heritage Month that I didn't even know 14 years growing up that I even had Hispanic blood, to have that blood and to have that blood connected to a celebratory month, which is also the month of my birthday. I really want to dig into this and appreciate it, and I, yes, my family is from Spain, and some people are like, Hispanic's not from, listen, any Spanish-speaking culture is Hispanic heritage, and I think that whether you're Spanish, Puerto Rican, Dominican, whatever it may be, when you have, Latin descent, whatever it is, South America, we should all be able to celebrate together. So I would like to proudly wish you a happy Hispanic Heritage Month, which is also the month of my birthday, and I love my culture. So shout out to all of my beautiful Hispanics out there, and shout out to all of the wonderful, wonderful things that come from everything, from the music to dancing to food to family values. I've learned that being Hispanic and being Italian is very, very similar. It's very similar. And what I mean by that is it's big family, it's love, it's dancing, it's music, it's cooking, it's sitting around a table and never losing the importance of a family meal. That to me is what it means to be Hispanic or Italian. So happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Shout out to my running mate, Enrique A. Cruz Jr. The first time we spoke on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, I said to Enrique, why don't I run for president? You could be my vice. And then when I'm done, he can be the president. And then I could be his vice. Because you could serve 2 terms as president, but I can be the vice president of anybody. So, shout out to Enrique, my future running mate, hopeful future president of the United States, and someone who shares October with me as a birthday month and shares Hispanic heritage with me as well. So God bless you. I appreciate your family. We'll be back with the Syracuse Orange, where Enrique A. Cruz Jr. is a true freshman on their offensive line. We will speak with the Orange, including one of their offensive linemen, right after this fast break.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecubal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpassnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Here at Progressive Dental, we understand the importance of regular dental visits and preventive care. Cleanings and checkups are essential to good oral health. We have multiple locations in the southern tier, so come visit us in Binghamton, Enwell, Kirkwood, Montrose, and Norwich. For self-pay non-insured patients, we offer the Smile Plan, which covers all of your cleanings, x-rays, and exams for an affordable yearly price. Call 607-754-2273 or 607-754-CARE to make an appointment today. For more information, visit our website at progressivedentalny.com.
The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make sure you download their app in the Google Play or Apple App Store for the Millhouse Market, and you'll have every single thing at your fingertips, from everything on their menu, their homemade breads and desserts, quinoa bowls, rice bowls, salads, brick oven pizzas, and sandwiches named after the families that helped to settle today's Pulaski. Ingrained in our community and ingrained in our taste buds, there's something special about the flavor and just the way that they are at the Millhouse Market. So make sure that you download the app today, have everything there at your fingertips, including a map on the app. So while you're on the app ordering, you can actually type in your address and it'll take you on the map to the Millhouse Market from wherever you are. So as you're ordering and getting everything set, you also have directions to the Millhouse Market, open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sundays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And when I say open, their drive-through window, their general store, and their indoor dining. And every single weekend, their indoor dining has a special bistro menu, and that menu changes weekly. So every single week you can try something new. So make sure that you check out the Millhouse Market. Worth the drive to 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, every time. Back here inside the Cafe Kubal studios, hanging out with you, Cafe Kubal, 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 208 North Townsend Street, 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse, as well as inside of Golisano's Children's Hospital in downtown Syracuse. And you can find the Cafe Kubal locations out on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, and their giant brown striped building that looks like coffee being poured. And you can find them at their drive-through location, which is right by the airport, and very it's quick to everything, honestly, where it is. It's where it is on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road in North Syracuse, New York. The Cafe Kubal drive-through location is close to the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, the airport, downtown, the Dome, right there for you. So if you're flying into town, you can go off to Cafe Kubal. Probably take about not even 5 minutes when you get out of the airport. So make sure you head over to Cafe Kubal's drive-through location on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road in North Syracuse, New York. It is now time for us to have the opportunity to speak with the Syracuse Orange football team. I want to make a mention here. Enrique A. Cruz Jr., a.k.a. Kiko, he is the one that's running with me for president. His brother Liam's birthday is in October. Kiko is in August. So happy August birthday to Kiko. Happy October babies. Shout out to Liam and I who get to share October together. And William, let me know what day is Liam's birthday because I want to give him a big time shout out. And William said that the family of Enrique A. Cruz Jr. is coming to town for the Friday night game against Clemson this coming October 15th. So next week, next Friday, a week from today, they'll be in town once again. So I'm excited to see you all and hopefully get to break some bread together. So a big time shout out and much love. And let me know when Liam's birthday is because we'd love to shout him out for a happy birthday. With that being said, the Syracuse Orange are front and center as they always are here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Here is my one-on-one with wide receiver Damien Alford, who joins the show for the first time ever.
And just what you can say about getting comfortable in this offense. I know you talked about the fact that building those relationships, but getting out there, getting some time, and making some big plays so far.
Yeah, but honestly, having my shot to go on the field and make plays like that, it's big. It's big for me personally because I worked hard to get to where I am, and finally being on the field and not being as stressed as I used to be, it feels good. And having those catches feels good too.
What got you onto the field, in your opinion? What did you do, kind of in the shadows, so to speak, to get out?
Honestly, it's being locked in meetings, asking questions when I need to ask questions, talking to coach personally, asking what I need to work on, and I work on them, and then that's how we went out there and got to the field.
Garrett is obviously known to be multiple and to run the ball a lot. How, as a wide receiver, do you feel like you can fit into an offense if Garrett's going to be running the ball a lot himself?
Honestly, it doesn't really bother me that he runs a lot because he can get open. If he gets open, he gets open. We have the scramble rules. If he sees me, if he sees whoever receiver is there, he's going to throw it. So the fact that he can scramble out, I like that.
Obviously, you want to catch the ball down the field, but when those big runs are coming for Sean Tucker or for Garrett Schrader and whatnot, blocking down the field, just what you can say to that and how important that is to your game.
Honestly, blocking is the most important part for me, to be honest, because we run a lot. So just being on my blocks, I feel I accomplish more when I block than when I catch.
Do you as a receiver, you want to obviously get in the end zone yourself, but do you like the fact that you're in a running offense? To you, is it just the win that matters?
Honestly, it's just the team, to be honest. I can do my part, but when they do their part, I feel as accomplished as them. If Sean gets a touchdown, I feel I got a touchdown as well. So that's how I feel, to be honest.
Florida State, and the game was so close, came down to the last second, 33-30. Just what you can say about fighting to stay in that game. Syracuse has never won in Tallahassee, so despite the losses, is there something positive you can take?
Honestly, it's the fact that we didn't give up. We kept pushing. And that's what I like. That's what I like to see about the team. We're gonna fight regardless of the fact if we're tied, losing. So that's what. Yeah.
What did Dino say after a game like that was so close?
Honestly, he just said come next week and work.
And for you, can you take? I know they say there's no such thing as moral victories, but can you take some type of momentum from that game, knowing how you played in Tallahassee?
Yeah, just my aggressive nature, getting off the press, being quick with my hands and everything. That's what I can take out from that game.
Jarvion Howard and Taj Harris decided to go into the transfer portal. Yeah. Obviously, this is a family. How do you navigate having two guys leave the locker room?
Honestly, it hurts, but it's their decisions. They had other stuff going on, so the fact that they left, I respect their decision. I love them, and I hope the best for them, to be honest.
What's the receiving room look like now without Taj?
Honestly, we're looking solid. We're still locked in. We missed Taj, but we still got to keep working regardless of the
That coming from Damien Alford Jr. here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We appreciate his time for sure being a part of this broadcast. And now, as we jump in here to my conversation with Matt Bergeron, who was on the show last week, audio-wise. Now we get a video with Matt. And an opportunity to speak with the starting left tackle on the team.
So obviously coming off of a tough loss, 33-30 at the final second, just what you take away from that Florida State game?
I think we played really good. I think especially for the offensive line, I think we had a great defensive front in front of us, and I think we did good. Sean Tucker had a decent game, and obviously Garrett had a decent game. So for the offensive line standpoint, I think there's stuff that we got to work on, but I think we put some good stuff out there.
It was the first time this season that Sean Tucker had at least 100 yards on the ground and the team didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you take from that? Typically when he's getting 100, you guys are getting a victory.
Oh, I mean, it just means that it's not enough, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, Florida State's a great program. They got a lot of good players. We just got to do more. That's what it means right there. If 100's not enough, we're going to make him go towards 200. Maybe that's going to be enough for the win.
What can you say about how he is? Because some people are worried that he's being overutilized, 25, 30 carries a game. He seems like he's the type of person where he'll take as many as he'll be given.
Yeah, he's unselfish. He's all about the team. So it really don't matter to him. And I always go pick him up, make sure he's all right. Because obviously 30 carries is a lot for a running back. So, but he's not worried about that. You can see it in his game. He's not being cautious out there and all that. So that's good for the team.
Garrett Schrader accounted for 4 touchdowns in the game. 3 of them. Running the ball, just what you can say about having a quarterback that is so willing to put himself out there in the field and take off with his feet.
Oh, it's good. I think Garrett's doing a good job for putting the offense in the position to win on the field, and I'm just happy he's doing what he's doing, and I'm just blocking my guy, making sure that Garrett don't run behind me or something.
Chris Elmore being back on the field, that big time, a 50-plus yard run by Garrett. There was a huge block by Rhino. Just what you can say what it means to have Chris out there as an extension of the line.
Like I said last week, we were doing good for the first 4 weeks on the run game, but with Rhino, I think the sky's the limit with Rhino. And he's like a 6th offensive lineman. He's like an extra wide receiver. He's like an extra running back. So it's just glad to have Rhino out there.
And he set up a hole, too, for Sean Tucker where he went and, burst forward and was able to move some people. Just what you can say about, I know you just, said he's an extension of the offensive line. He's another tight end or another wide receiver, another running back. But just what it means to have him out there knowing how he creates opportunities.
I mean, it's just good, especially for the run game. And Rhino is a hard-working person, like on and off the field, and you can just see it off his film. He's just always putting guys on their back and all that. I'm just excited to have him out there.
You and I spoke last week over the phone,
yeah.
And we spoke about the fact that Jarvion had moved forward. With Jarvion and Taj leaving, how does that affect the locker room? Does it affect you guys?
I mean, it does a little bit, especially for the guys that were close to them. But me, it's just I gotta see it like we gotta keep going. You can't look in the past. Obviously, we wish these guys the best, but as a team, we gotta move on and lock in.
How can you make sure that you guys stay focused when something like that happens? Because I think it goes understated, the locker room and just what a family is supposed to be in the locker room. So when you go to the lockers and 2 of those lockers aren't there anymore, just how you handle that.
I think guys handle it. In practice when you see guys like Damien stepping up, guys like Courtney Jackson stepping up, guys like Anthony Queeley stepping up. I think the team start realizing Taj is gone, but we still got a lot of good guys out there. Jarvion left, but we got Sean Tucker, Cooper Lutz, of dual items, and I feel the team just saw what we can do even with them not being out there, and I think
This offense struggled to score last year. Just what you can say about the fact that you guys are not having, too much outside of the Rutgers game. You're not struggling to hit the ball into the end zone, and just how important that is to carry your own on the offensive side.
I think for the offensive line, I think Coach Smith made a big difference for us compared to last year, and you can just see the result out there on the field this year. I'm really excited about what's next.
What's the best thing, totally off topic, but has to do with your home? What's the best thing about Canada first? And secondly, are you like me, a big Raptors fan?
I'm a Raptors fan, and the best thing about Canada, I say, be the food, like poutine. I love poutine, man. It's my favorite meal. That's the thing I miss the most. Poutine and the cheese, that's the thing I miss the most about Canada.
Yeah, I just had poutine this past week.
Yeah, you did? From where?
It was actually down south. So,
down south? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But where's the best place to go up in Canada?
That's right next to my home. It's a little town called Victoriaville. It's like 10 minutes from where the first poutine was actually made. So I think we get the best one. If you go up there, you just let me know. I'll send you that.
Fair enough. And do you think that people owe me an apology for saying the Raptors would never win a championship?
Oh, they definitely do. I think that's not the last one. That one wasn't the last one. I think we got a great future ahead of us.
There you have it, folks. Matt Bergeron says y'all owe me an apology for those of you that ripped on me for being a Raptors fan. So I appreciate that, Matt. I like that there's now two people that are saying, you know what, you owe Dan Tortora an apology for that disrespect of those Toronto Raptors. So I very much thank you for those words, Mr. Bergeron, coming from Quebec, Canada, and being a Raptors fan. And he just said that's the first championship. That's not going to be the last championship. So I like that. I love all the words that he's saying and a lot of positivity, a lot of good stuff coming our way. Very much thankful to Matt Bergeron for his time these last couple weeks, since him and I have gotten to speak last week and this week as well, going into games. So thank you to Matt for that. And, so Matt and I will be more than happy to facilitate you having the information that you need to send chocolates, cards, roses. I like carnations, as apologies for the negativity that was sent my way for being a Raptors fan. Last one up here is Chris Elmore in my conversation with the man that they call the Rhino. Very excited to have Chris Elmore back here on the broadcast. We spoke going into the season, and then for the last 4 weeks he was off the field, and then came back onto the field in the game against Florida State and had an immediate impact, helping to open up Garrett Schrader on a massive 50-plus yard run, and burst through a bunch of bodies like a Rhino to create a hole that Sean Tucker followed him right through. The Rhino is very fitting, and the Rhino is here with us now.
Chris, how do you look at having to, when you take that much time away from the field and knowing the type of person you are and how much you wanted to get out there and play, how did you handle it mentally?
It had a big toll on me. I definitely caught myself in a few dark moments, but just being able to open up to teammates, talk to them, talk to close friends, family, and just making sure that I never let myself get too deep in the hole to where I just didn't want to talk to nobody and shut everybody out. I just made sure that I kept positive energy around me and just made sure that people kept me up. Yeah, it was.
I spoke with Matt Bergeron about what he thinks you are. He said you're an extra offensive lineman, an extra receiver, an extra running back. Just, being that jack of all trades. And when you finally got out there to go up against Florida State, you had a huge block to open up Garrett Schrader, and you created space for Sean Tucker. Just what you can say about when you did get out there, the Rhino was definitely running.
Yeah, like I said in my interview after the game, my first quarter wasn't as good. Just being able to get the jitters out, and after that, the Rhino definitely did come back. But it felt good being to go out there, help my teammates, and just seeing how much better the offense was with me out there, and just like Bird said, being an extra offensive lineman to the point of attack, or being an extra wide receiver split out wide and blocking and things like that.
You didn't get the victory. It came down to the last second, but and Syracuse has never won in Tallahassee. Can you take something positive from a game like that where you were able to score offensively and push them all the way to the end?
Yeah, it's just like that's something that we should be able to do every time now. You know, like Florida State's got a good defense. You know, like I said, like their record doesn't reflect the type of players they have on their team. But just being able to put up the points we did against a team like that, it just shows improvement in our offense week by weekend. We're hoping to go out against Wake Forest and put up even more points.
Having to stay quiet for these last few weeks, knowing that there was light at the end of the tunnel, how do you handle the fact that people are trying to speak for you or fans trying to say different things? How did you handle the fact that you couldn't say anything and you just had to wait?
I just kept it as positive as I could. You know, like I knew that a lot of people were just going to be guessing like what was going on with me and things like that. I just kept it like, hey, like it's none of you guys' business. Like what I'm going through is what I'm going through, and it's just that.
Did it push you to kind of spark at this point to know that the Rhino is officially back? Are we going to see even more from Chris Elmore?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the personality of Rhino, and I can't believe that I've known Rhino for 5 years now? Has it been 5? 4? Something like that? Crazy to think how long I've known the Rhino. So, and when I think of the Rhino and I say it that way, is the Rhino is actually a villain. He's one of the members of the Sinister Six in Spider-Man, and Paul Giamatti played him most recently in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is a movie that I'm in as an extra, and you can actually see me in that scene with before he becomes the Rhino, as he's driving the 18-wheeler and all the cop cars crash into him. But that's how he says it. He says, the Rhino. So that's what I think of when I think of it. But, Rhino's awesome, man. He's an awesome guy. He's working really hard, and I'm so happy to see him back on the field. He's one of those guys, you have to really appreciate this, in the moment, is that he's on this Syracuse team, and this Syracuse team has not had many players in recent history where you just knew, day in and day out, you can lean on them. They're going to do what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean? And that's not me trying to knock anybody. It's me saying, he is one of the most consistent Syracuse players of recent history. That's what I'm saying. And that's probably a better way to say it. So when he comes back out onto the field and you watch that Garrett Schrader run and you see the open field and you see this guy flying across and just bam, hits this guy, that's the Rhino. And then when you, it legitimately looked like a Rhino going through the pile. There's all of these people, there's a bunch of bodies. Sean Tucker gets handed the ball, and Elmore's just running through, and I just see these cartoon bodies just flipping up in the air, because he literally ran through at Florida State, and I remember sitting there with my buddy Evan, because he's a big Florida State fan, my best friend, and I looked at the run, and I said, he legitimately just created a hole. He just created a lane that's just Sean, follow me, I got you. And it's you know what I mean? So he really is a Rhino. And I love having Elmore back, Damien Alford, and all these guys talking with me, about, Elmore and I talking about, things with him and having to sit out and having to go through that and people trying to figure out what's going on with him. I like that he said, you know what? I'm going through it. This is my life. This is not your life. It is not your thing to deal with. It's not your information to know. I like that. I respect that. I respect that he told people hey, I had to go through some stuff. It's none of your business. I'm back on the field. Let's have a great time. Because in today's world, everybody thinks that we deserve to know everybody's business because of social media. We are supposed to know No, you're not. No, you're not. You should, in my opinion, if you're living your life right, you should have the things that are most important to you only talked about with a small group of people that you really trust. Or people and animals. I talk to Lily. Lily and I have chats. We have little fireside chats. And to me, you keep it close to your vest. I'm not going to share certain things with everybody. They're mine to have. And so, I respect Chris Elmore for that. I also respect and appreciate that Matt Bergeron and Damien Alford both talked to me about Taj leaving and how do you bounce back from that, and Jarvion and whatnot, that they've addressed it. And that, they didn't just say, whatever, not a big deal, you know what I mean? Or I'm not going to talk about it. I like the fact that they actually spoke about it a little bit here. So, thank you to Matt and Damien for feeling comfortable. in my presence and believing that I would actually take the information you gave me and utilize it correctly and truthfully. So thank you for your faith in me. I hope that you have seen that faith in me was faith well spent, and I appreciate your time. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for being a part of today's show. This has been an incredible broadcast of Wake Up Call with Dan. I can't believe last week I did all my shows from the great state of Florida. I did part of them from St. Augustine and part of them from Orlando. I cannot believe that the last show I did in Florida was a week ago. Like, how did the week go by that fast? The last show that I did was Friday morning in Orlando. And now I'm sitting here today going, this is this Friday now? Like, I've been home for over a week, so just crazy to me. Crazy to me. Appreciate your time. Enjoy your time and spend your time wisely, folks. You know, I always pray that our days, our nights, and so on are long and fun and go by slowly. So even in the toughest of times, that we don't try to speed through life, that we have a long, in a good way, day and night and so on, and that we have fun and that it goes by slowly. Because I want to make every single day count. So, I appreciate you. I thank you for being here. I thank everybody that's a part of the broadcast. I want to thank Carvel for the annoying moment of the week. I want to thank the Spider with his assistance in being part of my annoying moment, and the people on an airline for their assistance in being a topic of conversation for the annoying moment of the week. So I want to thank y'all for that. And I also want to shout out Juanita Ward, who helped us find the peaceful and positive side coming from when there is that negativity of people rushing through life or being on a plane and people are, you know, just kind of being bothersome or being very selfish, that we came in lead with Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, speaking today on how we bring peace to a crazy world and to an ever-changing world. So thank you for that. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. The annoying moment of the week from Carvel DeWitt. I want to give a special shout out to our top dog of the week again, Danny Thome, the owner-operator of the Wildcat Sports Pub, and the top dog of the week presented every week at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on Wake Up Call, to the person or group or organization that we want to spotlight. Spotlighting Danny this week, presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Campground Dog Boarding, both of East Syracuse. Shout out to Lorraine, Chad, and the entire team, Heather, and all of the great things they do for our furry-loving friends. And a big, big shout out again to our top dog of the week, personally to Danny, who was named the 2021 Citizen of the Year Award by the Greater Camillus Chamber of Commerce. And, of course, a big shout out to all of my wonderful Syracuse guests that I had: wide receiver Damien Alford, left tackle Matt Bergeron, and fullback Chris Elmore, a.k.a. the Rhino. So thank you. Greg said make this weekend a memorable one, DT. I intend to. Hopefully the Orange continue to shake up the ACC with a big home win. Yeah, if it's a win for the Orange, it would be the first loss for Wake Forest this season, so that'd be huge. I want to give a shout-out and tell you, fins up to the Lemoyne Dolphins. Every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is exclusively Dolphin time. Every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. You can set it to Dolphin time, listening on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt and watching on facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/livenowdt, and on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as listening on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Dolphin time. First and third Wednesday of each month, AD and DT with Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora, a.k.a. DT, talking with you about a different topic every episode, and Dolphin Dive, which is on the second and fourth Wednesdays of every month. Coming up this coming Wednesday, October 13th, we'll be featuring Lexi Petritis, and Lexi's joining us from the volleyball team. She is a student, she is an athlete, and she is a registered nurse. That incredible story will be told this Wednesday, October 13th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss Lexi joining Wake Up Call for Dolphin Dive, and I'm very much looking forward to that. And you can dive into the Dolphins and find out more about them by going to LeMoyneDolphins.com, and I implore you to do that. You can go to the homepage of wakeupcalldt.com and click on the Dolphin logo, and that'll bring you there. as well. So a big shout out to the Dolphins and the schedule for this weekend. Just to make a note here for you folks with some things coming up, I want to give another shout out I did earlier on this week. Women's tennis clinched conference championship spot with a 7-0 victory at American International. So a big shout out to the women of the Lemoyne Dolphins tennis team once again. Women's cross country is at Cazenovia College. Oh, pardon me, that was last week. So today we have women's tennis against St. Thomas Aquinas College at Nottingham High School at 2 p.m. Eastern Time here in Syracuse on October 8th. Then we have women's golf in the Northeast 10 Conference Championship in Beaver Meadow Golf Club in Concord, New Hampshire at 9 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. That game on Saturday, October 9th, and women's cross country at Hamilton's Invitational at Clinton, New York on October 9th as well. On Sunday, October 10th, women's golf will continue at the Northeast 10 Conference Championships in Concord, New Hampshire, and that'll also be at 9 a.m. on Sunday, just like it's starting at 9 a.m. on Saturday as well. Men's golf will be at Post University in Watertown. There is another Watertown, Connecticut. The men's golf team will be there for Lemoyne at Post University on Monday, October 11th, and they'll be there on Monday, October 12th. The men's soccer team will be at Mercyhurst University in Erie, PA at 1 p.m. Tuesday, October 12th, and the women's soccer team will be at Damon College in Amherst, New York at 1 p.m. on Wednesday, October 13th. We will not see anybody back here until the men's golf team is at the Lemoyne Fall Invitational next Friday, October 15th, so make sure you come in for that. But you will be able to see the women's tennis team this Friday, today, October 8th, at Nottingham High School at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So the women's tennis team and the men's tennis team is the next time you're going to see the Dolphins on campus, and outside of that, you can root for them at LemoyneDolphins.com, with live interaction with them, either by video or stats and whatnot. You can pay attention to all of these road games for the Dolphins, and as always, fins up. Big shout out to my alma mater, the Marywood University Pacers, as they join us for a multimedia marketing partnership as well. Pacer Pride, baby. And you will find more information on the Marywood Pacers by going to MarywoodPacers.com. And when you go to the MarywoodPacers.com, upcoming schedule for Marywood, ironically, they were up here in central New York last weekend. So that was really, really cool. And the Marywood Pacers are going to be back in action doing their thing coming up here. Appreciate the Pacers, as always, for all that they're doing in the community, and very excited to know that these Pacers will be in action on October 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The Marywood Pacers will be going up against the Marywood University. I want to set this up here and let you see this. So the Marywood University teams will be in action this week. And esports, here we are. So for esports, Marywood University, University of North Alabama, they're facing off against them at 7 p.m. tonight on October 8th. The volleyball team will be home against Centenary University on October 9th this Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. The women's soccer team will be on the road at Marymount University on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. The men's team will be at home against Marymount University at 2 p.m. this Saturday. So plenty going on this Saturday. Men's tennis is going to be at Penn College as well this Saturday, so you can see them. So Marywood University on Saturday, October 9th, volleyball is home at 11 a.m., women's soccer on the road at Marymount at 1 p.m., men's soccer at home at 2 p.m., men's tennis on the road at 2 p.m., women's tennis on the road at 2 p.m., a lot of great stuff going on in field hockey against Centenary at home at 6 p.m., so a jam-packed Saturday, October 9th, for Marywood University at home and on the road. And the men's golf team, October 12th at 1 p.m. will be at home against Clark Summit University. So, well, it'll be considered a home is what I'm saying here. So a shout out to all of the teams that are going to be in action, from the esports to volleyball, women's soccer, men's tennis, women's tennis, and field hockey all weekend long, with a giant slate of games for October 9th this Saturday for Marywood University Pacer Pride. And with all that being stated, I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I hope that you come back and see us tonight for a very special wake-up call with Dan Tortora broadcast with Isaac Alford, who just signed on to work with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. Happy to have Isaac Alford as part of the team, and happy to have him here for our pregame and postgame shows. We will pregame with Isaac tonight for Wake Forest at Syracuse at 8:30 p.m. here on Friday, October 8th, and you can always watch Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, and Facebook.com/LiveNowDT. And you can listen on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT and on WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage. With this Monday, October 11th being Columbus Day / Indigenous Peoples Day, we will have the day off, as many of you will. So Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora will be live following the next day on Tuesday, October 12th. So we'll see you then, and have a nice long weekend. You can search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on Stitcher, Spotify, MixLR, TuneIn, Podbean, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on your favorite podcasting and video platforms, or just search Wake Up Call DT as one word. And a big shout out to all of our Central and Upstate New York partners you heard from today: Cafe Cubal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Lemoyne Dolphins, Pizza Man, Progressive Dental, Mon Paz Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, Avicoli's, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Millhouse Market, Honda City of Liverpool, PB&J's Lunchbox, Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, and Mother's Cupboard, as well as our great Pennsylvania partner with the Marywood Pacers. I hope you have a fantastic day, and wherever you are in any one of the 50 states, it's always good to get your popcorn ready, and you can do that by going to maandpazpopcorn.com. That's maandpazpopcorn.com. Go there this morning and order your favorite flavor of kettle corn or popcorn and have it delivered to your house. You get 20% off if you use my code DT20 at checkout. That's DT20 at checkout at maandpazpopcorn.com. Have a fantastic day. Find us on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, and Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. I will see you tonight with Isaac Alford for our pregame show for Wake Forest at Syracuse, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, October 8th. And we will see you at the game, Isaac and I, tomorrow inside of the Dome at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time when Wake Forest takes on Syracuse. And we'll see if Dino will be able to adjust to Dave Clausen, who's adjusted to him very well in his time against him. So we'll see how they go against each other. And two former coaches. They used to be the coach at Bowling Green. So a lot of great stuff coming up. Can't wait to see you back inside the Cafe Cubal studios. God bless. No stress. Do your best. Have a fantastic day. Tell the loved ones that you have that you love them. Be good to each other and be good to yourself. I'll talk with you soon.